Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome here tonight in our free workshop, Splicing Loops. Um, Normally,
Yes, good evening, Jeroen.
good evening, Willem. Normally, throughout the whole season, we give online workshops, live interactive online workshops. And yeah, tonight it's all about showing you how those workshops work and how simple it is to teach you how to splice. So we decided to give a workshop for free, and tonight it's all about loops. I'm together here with my colleague Jan Willem. Good evening.
Yes, I'm there.
Perfect.
Yeah, my name is Jan Willem Polman. I'm the founder of Premium Ropes. I'm also a sailor, like everybody who's working with Premium Ropes. I went around the world quite some time ago. Apart from that, I'm also the developer of the splicing tools DSplicer. DSplicer is our brand. I've also written books, Splicing Modern Ropes, which is also translated in many different languages. So Jeroen, you're the moderator this evening. Can you also explain a little bit about yourself, your background?
Yes, my name is Jeroen. I'm originally a competitive sailor or a racer. I did a lot of racing in the past, born and raised like it. Nowadays, more on the bigger yachts, but I used to sail Melges 24 X99 quite a lot. Um, Still racing during most of our C class on bigger X yachts. And before I started at Premium Ropes, I've been working for Harken in the Netherlands for over 10 years. And for now, I'm already working for 5 years for Premium Ropes. So most of the time, when you have technical questions or for boat performance or deck hardware and ropes, I will be the one to help you out or answer your emails or questions. But tonight it's all about the moderating this workshop. Normally, I will be able to answer you questions, live questions, and or give some feedback on the progress you've made. And tonight that's a little bit different, but we're going to help you out and teach you how to splice loops.
Yes, thank you, Jeroen. A little bit about Premium Ropes. We are a rope manufacturer, and we also do a lot of splicing. We supply all around the world spliced ropes within 1 or 2 days. And maybe also good to mention is that we have a rope splicing app. And if you search for rope splicing or Premium Ropes, then you can freely download the splicing app, and it also explains all the different splices that you want to make. So that's also handy for you to have. I would like to show how to make this evening. I would like to show how to make a loop. A loop is a very handy, extremely strong, endless rope, and if you combine it with a low friction ring, like done here in the center, you can make nice blocks on your deck with it. I'm using it a lot on your boat, and we have some practical pictures as well where you can use the splice for. Our intention is always to learn you how to splice, but also teach you how to, I'm very sorry, and also to teach you how to use this in practice. So we use a lot of practical examples as well. So I'm going to switch now to the camera on top of me. And this is, everything goes in live as well, like your phone. Okay. See now on top of me the camera, and let me also yeah, zoom out. This is my workspace. These are the books, splicing ropes, splicing modern ropes, and this is the bag with all my splicing gear. And what we need this evening is a good pair of scissors. We need a marker, we need a ruler, and of course we also need some splicing tools. And this evening we will use especially the DSplicer tool. So let me put this away. And what we also need is the rope. And we are going to make a loop. We're going to make a loop out of this 4 millimeter super fiber. This is a Styrotex fiber, but that's comparable with Dyneema in terms of mechanical properties. But we're going to make a loop out of this piece of rope. And I like to make a loop of about, well, let's say 17 centimeters or about 6 inches. So I need my ruler to make some markings on this rope. But the first thing I do, I'm going to double up this rope. I'm going to fold it into 2 parts. So this is my middle part. And the first thing I do is making a marking at the middle, in the middle. And now I'm going to make, I mentioned 17 centimeters, which is about 6 inches, 6.5 maybe even. So this is 17 centimeters. I'm going to make a marking A and a marking B on both sides of the rope. So what I did, this is the middle. This is the middle of my rope. On one side, I've made a mark position at 17 centimeters, and on the other side as well. So now it's about splicing. For splicing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate the rope a little bit so that the middle part, this is the middle part, is below me, and just 1 or 2 centimeters before the middle part of this rope, I'm opening up. So for opening up, I'm pushing the rope towards each other, and just 2 centimeters before the middle, I've done this, and I'm going to put my desplicer in here, and I'm going to put my desplicer through to the mark position over here. So over here, there's also mark position. So I've taken a little bit extra from the 70 centimeters because I want to create an overlap here. I'm going to explain that later on. So the desplicer is now out of the rope. The desplicer is now out of the rope from a little bit before the middle. As from this, there was the 17 centimeters. My desplicer is out of the rope. So now I'm going to put the rope below so that I can easily open my desplicer. And I'm going to pull the free end, so the longer end, I'm going to pull that through the rope here towards the middle, or a little bit past the middle. So if I pull my rope a little bit downwards, I can easily open my desplicer, and I just put a little bit of the rope inside. I'm not going to really double up the rope. I very often see that the rope is treated like this, but then you get a very thick part if you put it through. So I rather take a very small part here and clamp that into my desplicer. Now I'm going to push it already in the right direction. If I push it like this a little bit, it's already much more easy to pull it through. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Pull it through, and I'm going to I just pull the rope over the desplicer. I'm not going to pull on this side, but I just pull it over the desplicer so that it easily goes through. And now it is already done. Let me turn the rope a little bit so that we can see the mark positions again. So where is the mark position on this rope? It is over here. Rotate a little bit. So this was the middle part. So what I just did is the long end here. I've just pulled that through. My desplicer went in here and went out over there. So let me zoom in a little bit. So my desplicer, this is the middle. My desplicer went in here. It went out over there. And now I've pulled basically this part inside. So now from the middle, also 2 centimeters from the middle, I'm going to basically put my desplicer in here and go towards the other direction, towards the other 17 centimeters mark position over there. And then I'm going to pull this other free end through so that I really get an endless rope. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to zoom out a little bit again, because otherwise you can't see the total picture. So that's like this. So here the desplicer goes in. Since it's already doubled up, you need some space, but you can see it's already passed by that point. So now until the mark position, where is my mark position? It's over there. We take out the desplicer. We do the same thing as before. We just push everything downwards. We open the desplicer. we basically take the upper part and then I push it already in the right direction, and I'm going to pull this through. So now it's pulled through. It's not nice yet. I'm going to zoom in, and you can see it's pulled through. So what I of course want is that these ends should come together. So these loose ends, I'm going to really pull. You can see what happens. I'm going to pull. It doesn't matter like that it's really doubled up, because now they are really together over there. So if I now stretch everything nicely out, which I'm doing right now, I stretch out everything. My loop looks much better, but you can see that in this area, and the middle area, let me put it like this area, there are, of course, it's further doubled up. So why did I do that? Because I want to create the same diameter all over. So if I just cut it over there and then taper it a little bit and do the same on the other side, also this side will be the same diameter as the rest. So I have created the perfect endless loop. So how to do that? I just made sure that everything is nicely stretched out. So I'm going to make a marker at the end, which just came out. There's my mark position. I'm going to do the same over there. And if I now pull it out further, I know where to cut it. So that's the reason why I did the marking over there. So here I'm going to cut it. So if I now would milk it back again, it fully disappears. But of course, I want to taper it, and tapering is making sure that it gradually gets thinner. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I just unravel it, and I just cut it so that it's tapered. If I now stretch it out again, you can see one end is already gone, and you can see the tapering over there. And now the other end, I just made a marking there as well. Yeah, there is my marking. I just cut it at the marked position and do the same thing again, and cut it like this. So if I milk now also the other side, you see what happens. And what I normally like to do is on a big winch, really put a lot of force on this loop. And you will see that this loop will be about probably 2,300 kilograms strong, because the original rope is about 1,500 kilograms strong. And this loop is at least normally about 1.5 times stronger than the original line. And a loop is a very handy thing. I'm going to show some examples later on. But I want to show this one more time so that everybody can really follow, everybody who didn't do this already. So I'm going to zoom out and do a little bit faster than I did in the first instance. I'm going to show it again. So this is my single braid rope. I'm going to double it up. I've made in the middle, I made a marking over there. Get the ruler, making the 17 centimeters mark position on one side, the 17 mark positions on the other side. And if you of course want to have a much bigger loop, of course you take a longer piece, and you need a longer rope as well. So from the middle part, so this is my middle part, from the middle part, just before the middle part, I'm going to put in my D-splicer, and it goes out at the marked position, 17 centimeters from the middle. I'm going to pull this one in, and of course later, if I go in the other direction, I pull the other thing in. So this is it. Put it in the right direction, pull it through. There we go. Of course, and now this was my middle, and just before the middle the D-splicer went in, and now I'm going to put the D-splicer on the other side. So this, and you need a little bit more patience here because there's already a rope there, but it's not so difficult. It goes in here, all the way towards the mark position on the other side of the rope. And now I'm going to pull this part through as well. So I'm doing it a little bit faster. If it's interactive, you can ask questions to show it again and again and again. So in an evening when we teach you the different techniques, you have plenty of time to follow everything and to finish your rope. So this is the one. I said I'm making a mark position here so that I know where to cut it on both sides. So here I cut it first and then I'm tapering it. So that's one side. Here there is a marking as well. There it is. Just cut it there. And that's also taper it here. And now I have a second loop. So I've created, and also this loop preloaded is the advice here. And if you combine it now with a low friction ring, I already mentioned that, you get a very nice block for your boat. If you have a furler line to guide your furler line, it's perfect. It really guides your furler line well. You don't need big blocks to do the work, but you can easily make those things yourself. So those are all the samples. But I want to mention one more thing. If you make it like this, make a block out of this, you make it just a stitch whipping. In the workshops, we also work a lot with the stitch whippings. And then you have your block there. But I like to explain one more thing, that this loop is extremely strong if you load this. So if you really put a lot of load on it, it's extremely strong. But if you want to destroy it, if you do not apply a few stitches on the transition point, where one goes into the other, it can fall apart if you start pulling on both sides. And the trick with the splicing superfibers is if you put it far enough into itself, it will jam itself. And that technique works very well. 60 times the diameter is the basis for that. So that works well. But if you want to you can also destroy this one again, this loop, if you pull it like that. So that is the reason why on the transition point, this is the transition point, you just apply a few stitches. They do not create extra strength, but they make sure by applying those stitches, or also stitch whipping will do the job. It will make sure that it doesn't fall apart if you pull it in one side and the other side like I just did. So that's how you can make these loops. Just let us show some examples of what you can do with it. This is, for example, a boat which we in China that some time ago we rigged. And there you can see that we used a lot of loops. Here we use a loop for the blocks. We did not use stainless steel. We put a loop around the boom here, extremely strong. And then we made a loop here again. Sometimes we combine a loop that's shown over here, a loop where we similar to the low friction ring. We put in here a dog bone, then it becomes a soft shackle, a very strong soft shackle. But also here underneath, these backstays are fixed with loops, Dyneema loops. Here you can see the dog bones also. You can easily take those blocks away. Very strong connection. So yeah, there are many examples where you can use this loop for. I have it on my boat also in many different places. And here are the examples when you use it in combination with low friction rings, a block for your halyards. They normally have a lot of load. It's very easy to make your own block for that. And also, if you want somewhere else on your boat a block, you can also use it. So there are many examples what you can do with this splicing technique.